I will be honest with you guys. I recorded this episode yesterday and the audio was not audioing, which was really frustrating because this episode is quite frankly going to be amazing. I already know it's going to be amazing. But I've struggled a lot with technology this week, but I'm not letting it stop me. And I only know this means that God wants me to record. He wants me to film. He wants me to post. Because why is the devil attacking me so hard to try to not get me to make content and create? Because literally, I made 3 forms of content yesterday. They all got deleted because of some sort of technological difficulty, and I had to re edit it. So, I will be making content from now on, even more so. Welcome back to Build a Life You Love podcast. I'm your host, Kaylyn McCarthy, and I am so excited today to talk to you about risk and taking the risk and not being afraid to take the risk. Taking the risk can feel scary. It can feel like taking a step without knowing how it's going to turn out. But what I've learned is if you don't take that step, you're never gonna know what the outcome will be. Because what if you take that step and it's everything you've dreamed of? What if you take that step and it actually works out? We should be looking at life and looking at business and at work and at relationships and saying, this is gonna work out. I know this is gonna work out. Instead of the latter being like, oh my God, I don't know. Like, I'm scared. Like, this is gonna fail. I don't know how I'm gonna pay this bill. This is just not for me. It is for you. You are a child of God. He wants you to have an abundant life. He wants you to do the things that you've always wanted to do. He wants you to go try a new hobby, to go meet new friends, to travel, to do all the things. And if we are too afraid to take the next step because of what people may think, of what people might say, of what we think of ourselves out of fear of like lack, or whether it's financially or just self-doubt, we are going to feel stuck. We're going to feel not in alignment who we are and who God has called us to be. And I've experienced this week, literally. I've been going to a Christian therapy center in Mandeville. If you know No Heart Left Behind, it is a great, great resource. If you can't afford therapy or if you want Christian-based therapy, it is basically you donate whatever you feel comfortable donating. You're not paying $150 a session. You are going to a licensed therapist to get the help you need or to just help you talk out some things, which is like why I'm going. It's like I need support. You know, everybody needs support and guidance in life and making decisions and healing from things that you don't even know that are there. I went to therapy this week because I kind of had a mini little spiral, because I'm like, okay, I have the business. I have all the things that I said I was going to do. Why am I feeling stuck? I wake up and I don't want to do anything. I wake up feeling just uninspired, unmotivated, not feeling like I'm living life. And I don't know if that makes sense. And maybe you feel the same way. Maybe you're waking up to the same routine. Maybe you're waking up, hanging out with the same friend group that you don't really feel like they're pushing you to be the best version of yourself. Maybe you're going to the same gym you've been going to for 20 years. And it's fine. It's great. There's nothing wrong with it. But you're waking up with dread. You're waking up not really wanting to go to work. And you've been working at this place for over 10 years. You feel like you have a loyalty to this company and to this team, but you feel, I don't want to be morbid. But I want to paint the realism and the reality of how this feels. You feel like you're dying. You feel like you're not really yourself. You feel like there's more to life, but you don't know where to turn, how to turn. Anyway, I came to my therapist with this feeling and I said, help. I am doing all the things. I'm doing my job. I have my business. Why do I feel stuck? And we kind of talked it through. I realized one of the main reasons that I started my business was so I could travel and see the world and experience new things and meet new people, try new foods, go shopping at little farmers markets. And I realized I am literally not doing that. I'm for fear of losing money, for fear of being kidnapped, for fear of traveling alone. I have limited myself to travel and trips with only my family. I have limited myself to only trips that are provided for me. And Well, that's all fun, safe, and, comfortable. That is not where God's calling me to go. God is calling me to travel the world, to literally, like, He put that on my heart. And I know that that obviously is not everybody wants to travel. Not every, like, travel is exhausting. How many trips I've come home and I'm like, oh my God, the airport, like, TSA was mayhem. I've been in a yucky airport all day. I have a giant to do list to do tomorrow. It takes time out of your day to travel. Okay, like a travel day is a full day, and it takes time to recover. I know that might be a first world. That's probably a first world problem, but it's honestly the truth. There are some things that are not for everybody. But for me, the thing that God is calling me to and calling me out of my comfort zone is traveling. So I had this kind of God moment this week where I'm like, oh no, oh no. I have to trust him with my finances in regards to travel. I have to trust him that he's going to provide for me with safety and provision when I'm going to a new place, if I'm going out the country, if I'm doing XYZ, which is hard. Like, I've been so comfortable in just doing the stuff my parents have wanted me to do. I've been doing comfortable doing this stuff like, traveling to see a friend. That's a baby step in the grand scheme of things, but what if I went on a solo trip to Europe? What if I went on a solo trip to, like, Bali? This therapy session made me look at my life in such a bigger outlook. It made me start thinking, oh, I can live again. I think I had this fear of spending money, and mainly because my parents are accountants. So there is a thing called budgeting and, making sure you're not spending over your means and things like that. But I also think if God is calling you to invest in something, you can't be afraid to spend that money. You can't be afraid to take the chance and take the risk, because you have to trust that he's going to provide for you. Whether, you want to take out a business loan and start a Pilates studio or a bakery or whatever it is, if you have the vision and God's calling you to it and you have peace about it, do it. Why are you waiting? Why are you putting your life on hold because of fear? That's the main thing. I was putting my whole life on pause because of fear. I wasn't trying new things. I wasn't traveling. I wasn't, like, creating content in the way I should. I just literally wasn't believing in myself. And what's so crazy, in the last week, literally the last week, as soon as I decided that I was going to be traveling more in 2026, I have like 4 trips planned. What? Look how fast the Lord works. When you make the decision you are going to do that thing, you will get so many confirmations from him. I even, like, booked a pasta making class first week of December. I don't usually do that. I'm not saying the pasta class is out of my comfort zone, but what I'm saying is you have to start dreaming again. You have to think outside the box and start taking that risk, whether it's leaving that relationship, whether it's leaving that job, whether it's trying to make new friends because your friend group is toxic, whether, you're wanting to write a book, whether you want to be a content creator, whether you want to become a makeup artist. I literally had a conversation with a friend recently, and she was like, well, I'm kind of thinking, like, I've always wanted to be a makeup artist, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, do it. Do it. Like, what is stopping you? What is stopping you? Even if you take the first step into try and become a makeup artist or whatever it is, if you take the first step, like, say you take a makeup class, you realize you don't like it. Okay. You move on to the next thing. But you have that confirmation in you that, okay, that wasn't my path, but I can move forward and find out what is my path. And that's the thing about life. We're always evolving. We're always growing. We're never meant to stay stuck. We're never meant to have the same routine for 40 years. Hello? We are supposed to grow. We were supposed to evolve. We were supposed to try new things. We were supposed to meet new people. Honestly, I'm not even sure if you're supposed to have, like, one best friend for your whole life. Like, think about how many best friends you've had for each season. I think you'll have, like, one designated best friend for adulthood and one designated best friend for, teen years, and one designated best friend for your childhood. But because they're all different seasons and they were all meant to be in your life at some point in time to push you along your purpose, since coming to this conclusion, I've decided to travel to 12 different destinations in 2026, which means I am going to a new place for every month of 2026. I'm excited, nervous. I've already have like four-ish trips planned, which is wild. And I'm gonna be documenting the whole thing on my Instagram, my TikTok. So if you want to follow along the journey of like what I, experience as I travel the world or just like the places I'm gonna visit, I think I'm gonna release the list month by month. So I'll be announcing January soon. So stay tuned for that of where I'll be going. I'm super excited. I guess this is your reminder that life should not be put on hold because of fear. Continue to live, continue to try new things, continue to be the best version of you, continue to try to find your purpose even if you try something and it doesn't work out. For me, another reason why I was afraid to take a step is I'm a perfectionist. And I think that's a big thing with taking risks is like, I'm scared to make a mistake. I'm scared to make a mistake. But it's like, we're not meant to be perfect. Only God is perfect. And we have to trust that even if we make a mistake, even if we try something and it doesn't work out, we have to trust it's a learning lesson, that we're going to learn something and it's going to push us even further to our purpose. As we walk, God guides us. He leads our steps. Like if he wants you to go this way and you make a decision that like is kind of close but it's not really, he will slowly direct you straight. But if you stay stopped here and you don't move, he can't move you straight because you have to take the step first for you to know if it's right for you or not. Don't be afraid to be yourself. Don't be afraid to take the risk because it could be the best thing that ever happened to you. It could be the chapter that unlocks the best version of you. So I encourage you to just do it. Take the risk. Like me, like I was scared like I'm still scared. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm traveling, but I'm probably going by myself. I'm 25 years old. You know how scary it is to be solo traveling by yourself? How am I going to do that? I have no idea. I literally am just trusting God and just doing it. But I know that he wants to build a life in me that is so abundant and so beautiful. And I just have to trust that he will provide somehow, some way for me in this field. So I encourage you to do the same this week, whether it's just taking one step towards a goal you've always wanted, whether it's, trying out a new hobby or, become the version of you you've always wanted to become. All right, guys, I hope this was encouraging. Stay tuned for next week. Hopefully, I might actually, I'm going out of town for Thanksgiving, so the next episode's probably gonna be a little bit later. But I hope y'all have a great Thanksgiving, and I will see y'all soon.